student. In this lesson, we'll learn about the use and the form of the past perfect continuous tense. We'll then practice using it. Last weekend, Mr. Beanie went to the nearby shop. There, he met his curious neighbor Irma, who asked him what he had been doing before coming to the shop. Do you want to know what he replied? Let's listen to him. Observe the verbs in bold.
Before coming to the shop, I had been thinking what to cook for dinner. I had been pacing my room and had been asking for advice from my teddy bear. I had been writing many shopping lists.
The verbs in red are in the past perfect continuous tense. Do you know when we use the past perfect continuous tense? Let's look at this example. Before coming to the shop, Mr. Beanie had been thinking what to cook for dinner. Now observe this diagram. X represents the time in the past when Mr. Beanie went to the nearby shop. This happened last weekend. This is when Mr. Beanie met his neighbor Irma at the shop. On that day, last weekend, she asked him what he had been doing before coming to the shop. Mr. Beanie then explained that before coming to the shop, he had been thinking about what to cook for dinner. The green area thus refers to all the ongoing actions performed by Mr. Beanie before coming to the shop. Had been thinking is in the past perfect continuous tense. Therefore, we use the past perfect continuous tense when there was an ongoing action in the past, and this action took place before a specific time in the past. Another example. Mr. Beanie also told Irma that before coming to the shop, he had been writing many shopping lists. In this example, the action of writing was done several times in the past. So, we also use the past perfect continuous tense when an action was carried out several times in the past. Before focusing on how the past perfect continuous tense is formed, let us reread the two examples again. Before coming to the shop, Mr. Beanie had been thinking what to cook for dinner. Before coming to the shop, Mr. Beanie had been writing many shopping lists. We note that the past perfect continuous tense is formed with had and been and the ing form of a main verb, that is, the present participle form. In these verbs, thinking, writing, pacing, and asking are the present participle form of the main verb. When they met at the shop, Mr. Beanie also invited Irma to his birthday dinner the coming weekend. How did Mr. Beanie get ready for his birthday dinner? Let's find out and practice using the past perfect continuous tense. Fill in the blank with the past perfect continuous form of the verb in brackets. He, to choose, what to wear, and was very confused. You got it right. Mr. Beanie had been choosing what to wear and was very confused. Had been choosing. Do you want to know what Mr. Beanie did next? Complete the sentence. Mr. Beanie to call Irma several times to ask her what he could wear. Correct. Mr. Beanie had been calling Irma several times to ask her what he could wear. Had been calling. Let's find out what Mr. Beanie did next to get ready. Complete the sentence. He, to look for his socks and shoes everywhere and finally found them in the bin. Correct answer. Mr. Beanie had been looking for his socks and shoes everywhere and finally found them in the bin. Had been looking. While Mr. Beanie was confused, Irma was also preparing herself for the dinner. Do you want to know what Irma had been thinking and doing before going to Mr. Beanie's birthday dinner? Let's find out and fill in the blank with the past perfect continuous form of the verb given in brackets. Since morning, Irma, to wonder whether Mr. Beanie's moustache was real or not. Correct. Irma had been wondering whether Mr. Beanie's moustache was real or not. Had been wondering. What else do you think Irma did to get ready for the dinner? Complete the sentence. Before going to the birthday dinner, Irma, to search for her minion-themed dress but could not find it. Indeed, Irma had been searching for her minion-themed dress. Had been searching. Do you want to know what Mr. Beanie did next to get ready for his birthday dinner with Irma? Well, you can go back to your grade 8 textbook and complete exercise 4B on page 46 and exercise 4C on page 47. All the best! Please note that this video is available on the SSP website. To end this lesson, let's do a recap. We learned that the past perfect continuous tense is used when there was an ongoing action in the past, and this action took place before a specific time in the past. We also use this tense when an action was done several times in the past. Some examples of verbs in the past perfect continuous tense: had been thinking, had been wondering, had been choosing. Note that to form the past perfect continuous tense, we use had plus been plus the present participle of the main verb. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.